Really, this is really the point of this group is to be a sort of incubator or a nest or a hub where people can have different interests and different backgrounds and different skill sets can get together and make cool projects and do independent research and find people who have similar interests. So just to get a gauge of the room, how many of you have backgrounds in have studied formally or informally studied psychology? Okay. What about cognitive science, neuroscience, computer science, programming? Awesome. What about like hardware engineering, circuits? Okay. Bioengineering? Bio. Okay. Yeah. What about like philosophy? Oh wow. Okay. What else? Linguistics? Yeah, linguistics, maybe? Okay, what about like product design? Have you done like human-computer interaction classes or product design classes? Okay. Art? Yeah. The art people? Yeah. Woo, music? Okay. Culinary arts? No, that's not relevant actually. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're interested in building cool gadgets that connect with the brain, if you're interested in education or ways that we can create software or other programs to improve human cognitive function, if you're interested in like creating cool graphic design and working with teams who are building projects, or if you're interested in doing independent research and conducting the kinds of psychology experiments that might not be given attention in academic labs using brain-computer interface technology, or if you're interested in writing about brain-computer interfacing technology and publishing research, doing a blog, there's a place for you here. There's all of these functions are going to have roles to connect to. Yeah, I'm glad to see it's such an interdisciplinary group. So the general, let's see here. So the general structure of today, we're going to talk about what is cognitive technology, what are the resources that we're making available to you, and then have some cool demos that we put together. I'll just sit here. And then, so that's sort of the first half, is what's going on. And then that'll take hopefully 30 minutes or so. And then in the second half, we're going to get in a big circle and just introduce ourselves and start looking at ways that we can form connections. Start forming connections in teams. So also just to get a general sense, how many of you came here with some kind of like somewhat specific area of interest or like a project idea that you had in mind? Raise them high. Yeah? Okay, cool. How many of you came because you're interested in like general brain stuff, nothing specific, but think that there's something interesting to be done with technology? Okay, cool. And how many of you came to get cookies and carrots? Yeah. Cool. Cool. So this group is basically to serve as there's a big network here of talent and skills and interests, and we want to draw a bunch of connections inside of that network. So that's what we're going to do. Sound good? Cool. Okay, cool. So what is cognitive technology? My background is in neuroscience research, and the early conversations that led to this group started as how can we take what we're learning in neuroscience and apply it and make something useful out of it that is meaningful to our everyday lives or is meaningful to people that we know. So cognitive science is the study of thought, learning, mental organization. It's interdisciplinary. What is happening in the mind? How does the mind work? And technology is the application of scientific knowledge. And that could be any application. It's not exclusively electronics. You could say that the first cognitive technology could have been meditation, maybe. It was an applied practice based out of knowledge of how the mind works. So we're interested in exploring that question. What does that look like? And what does that look like when we have really, really extremely powerful tools available to us? So there's in the very loose history of science, when in the history of some scientific study, there comes a time when scientific research starts becoming applied. It starts reaching a place where it's no longer theoretical, and it actually has physical manifestations in the real world. Scientists seek to understand, predict, and control a system. Understand, predict, control, and hopefully improve a system. And the system that we're interested in is the brain. So the study of the laws of motion and classical mechanics enabled us to create new forms of transportation that enabled us to make steam engines and ultimately go to outer space. Similarly, the discovery of genetics and biological sciences led to genetic engineering and biological engineering. So I think a lot of you in this room are interested in the mind, understanding how the mind works. And I think that the mind science is one of the most, for me, it's one of the most exciting fields to be in right now because it's still the wild, wild west. We're just getting to a point in the last maybe 10, 20 years where we can really get insight into the physical functioning of the brain in a way that's never been done before. So I believe that consciousness and the functioning of the mind is one of humanity's next frontiers. We're developing the tools that will enable us to explore inner space. This is a fantastic time to be involved in brain technology. I mean, wouldn't it be awesome to understand what's going on inside of the brain? I'd love to be able to make things out of it, to have my thoughts somehow influence real things in the physical world. And ultimately, I hope to be able to improve the functioning of the brain too. So those are the questions, those are the broad questions that we're motivated by. Generally, I see an opportunity where in the last maybe 10 years or so, brain-computer interfacing, this is not only about brain-computer interfacing, but it is a large part. Brain-computer interfaces are reaching a point where they're becoming accessible to us, and so a student group like us can really get our hands on it and make a significant contribution to the brain-computer interfacing field and to ways that it could be applied in creative new ways. So I'm very confident that right now there's multi-million-dollar projects going on to create like prosthetic limbs or cochlear implants or vision implants that are run by people who spend 15 years of their life doing hardcore engineering. And that's awesome. But I think the space that's really unique that could be filled by